Imagine falling asleep, and when you wake up, 40 years have passed. Your children are grown. Your husband is remarried. The world has changed, but you haven't aged a day. Between 1916 and 1930, a disease appeared. It put people to sleep for weeks, for months, for decades. 1 million people fell victim. Some never woke up. Others opened their eyes in a world they didn't recognize. Then, just as mysteriously as it appeared, the disease vanished and never returned. This is Encephalitis Lethargica, the sleeping sickness that medicine still can't explain. Welcome to Veil of History. Vienna, Austria, winter 1916. World War I was raging. The world was focused on death in the trenches. Then, people started falling asleep. It began with flu-like symptoms: fever, headache, sore throat. Nothing unusual. But then, they couldn't stay awake. They'd fall asleep mid-conversation, while eating, while standing, and some never woke up. Dr. Konstantin von Economo noticed something terrifying. These patients weren't just tired. They were trapped, eyes open, but not responding, aware, but unable to move. A prison inside their own body. He called it Encephalitis Lethargica, sleeping sickness. Within months, it spread across Europe. Then America, Asia, Australia. No country was spared. By 1920, it was a pandemic. 500,000 people in Europe alone. 1 million worldwide. Hospitals filled with sleeping patients. Rows of beds. Bodies frozen in time. Some slept for days. Woke up confused. Others slept for weeks, months, and some slept for decades. The symptoms were bizarre. Some patients became violent before sleeping. Others couldn't stop moving, like Parkinson's. Children developed behavioral problems. Adults lost their personality entirely. It attacked the brain in ways doctors had never seen. And there was no cure, no treatment, no explanation. 1 in 3 died in their sleep. The rest were trapped between life and death. Mount Carmel Hospital, New York, 1969. Dr. Oliver Sacks walked through a ward most people had forgotten. Inside were patients who had been there for 40 years. Frozen, silent, statues. They sat in wheelchairs, staring, eyes open, but not seeing, aware, but unable to respond. They called them the living dead. These were the survivors of the sleeping sickness. They fell asleep in the 1920s. Some woke briefly, then froze, locked in a state called post-encephalitic Parkinsonism, unable to move, unable to speak, unable to live. But their minds were awake, trapped inside bodies that wouldn't obey. For 40 years, one patient rose. She fell asleep at age 21 in 1926. When she woke in 1969, she was 64, but her mind believed she was still 21. She asked about her parents, dead. Her friends, gone. Her fiancé, married with grandchildren. World War II had happened. Television was invented. Man walked on the moon. She missed it all. Another patient, Leonard, frozen since 1927. Conscious, aware, screaming inside, but his body wouldn't move. Imagine being locked in your own body for 40 years, watching the world through a window, but never being part of it. This was their reality. 1969, Dr. Sachs discovered something. A new drug called L-DOPA, used for Parkinson's disease. He thought, what if it works on these patients? He gave it to Rose. Within days, she moved her hand. Then she spoke. Then she stood. After 40 years, Rose was alive again. Dr. Sachs gave L-DOPA to all the patients, and one by one, they woke up. Leonard started walking, talking, laughing. Patients who hadn't moved in decades were dancing. It was a miracle. Families reunited. Hope returned. The frozen statues became human again. But then, something went wrong. The drug stopped working. Some patients became manic. Others developed severe side effects. And slowly, they began freezing again. Rose, who had been dancing just weeks before, stopped moving. Leonard, who had embraced his family, became a statue once more. The miracle ended. Most returned to their frozen state, this time for good. Dr. Sachs wrote a book about them, Awakenings. It became a movie in 1990. Robin Williams, Robert De Niro. The world finally knew their story, but by then, most of them were gone. 1930, just as suddenly as it appeared, Encephalitis Lethargica vanished. No new cases, no outbreaks, nothing. It's been 95 years, and it has never returned. To this day, no one knows what caused it. Was it a virus? Bacteria? Autoimmune disease? Why did it appear in 1916? Why did it target the brain in such specific ways? Why did it vanish in 1930? And most terrifying, could it come back? Scientists have theories. Some believe it was linked to the Spanish flu. Others think it was an autoimmune reaction. A few suggest it was a virus that went extinct. But no one knows for sure. The disease took 1 million victims and left no trace of what it was. The last survivors of the sleeping sickness died in the 1990s. They spent 70 years of their lives asleep, frozen in time, prisoners in their own bodies. Some woke briefly, tasted life, then lost it again. This was encephalitis lethargica, the disease that stole decades, the miracle that ended too soon, and the medical mystery that we still can't solve. This is Veil of History, where some mysteries never sleep.